Watchmen. Directed by Zack Snyder, Watchmen stars Patrick Wilson, Jackie Earle Haley, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Billy Crudup, Malin Ackerman. In 1985, after finding out about a murder of a fellow member of a heroic group known as the Watchmen, Rorschach decides to tell his surviving fellow heroes they could be in danger. After they remain doubtful of the situation, Rorschach goes on a bloody investigation of his own. After encountering overwhelming obstacles, at the end of the trail, he faces the cold hard truth. Kicking off with a whole new year, I think we're going to start with one of my all-time favorite movies. I can say all day about how it's awesome, and that's awesome, and awesome, but in reality, this movie is actually just awesome. And it's, in my opinion, Zack Snyder's finest work, yet even more than 300. From what I hear, because I haven't read the graphic novel, it's pretty faithful to its source material, which is something a lot of comic book movies can learn from, especially today's comic book movies. Looking at you, DC. And which I actually think is ironic because DC has taken Zack Snyder to do most of the DC comic book movies. What? First off, let's go into visuals. If you have ever seen any of Snyder's films, you know it's just a great thing for your eyes to see. He usually has a dark and gritty tone when it comes to his movies, and it worked so well just for this story and for this style. Next, I'll go into soundtrack. I thoroughly love this soundtrack because they utilize it so well. Like, for instance, they always play songs that just happen to have actual significance to the scenes that are actually happening in the movie. Like, they play Bob Dylan's song Times Are Changing during the end of a World War II scene and what happens with the Minutemen / Watchmen program and everything that happens with Nixon being elected and so on and so forth. And it's not just this song. Many songs throughout the soundtrack and through this movie are just so subtle and timed so very well. Speaking of subtlety, I really like the fact that they always kept you in the loop with whatever's going on in the world other than what's going on with the Watchmen. Without diverting your attention too much, it just gave you small little details and clues with what's going to end up happening in the world and how it's going to make a big impact with the Watchmen. On to the acting. Everyone was remarkably outstanding. It's not even a cast that I would personally expect to don masks and capes, except for maybe the exception of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Anybody could see that guy being a hero. But they all pulled it off so well and just did fantastic in this movie. I think we all know who the breakout star of this movie actually was, and I'm sure many of you will agree with me. And that's Rorschach's actor Jackie Earle Haley. After seeing his performance in this movie, I don't think I could see anybody else stepping into his shoes anytime at all, ever. Regardless, everyone was able to pull their character straight from the comic books and straight to life. That's how good these performances were. Lastly, I'll leave on this note. After seeing this movie for the first time, I thought Zack Snyder should have made the next Batman movie. But now, it's 2017, and look what he's done. I made a terrible mistake. Oh! And the ending of this movie is holy crap. It's so good. I understand that they had to change that. That is the one major thing that they had to change from the graphic novel. But it's totally understandable why they did it, because the crowd just would have been flustered and had no idea what was going on if they went with the original graphic novel version. So I'm totally okay with that change, and it was amazing. Thanks for watching, guys. Over here is going to be my last Glensdays, which was last year. It's crazy, it was so far away. And that was It's a Wonderful Life. Over on this side, however, is going to be Mike's, which was Fantastic Mr. Fox. And right in the middle here is a subscribe button. Check that out. Down below is a like and subscribe and dislike button. There's so many subscribe buttons, it's crazy. Down below that is a comment section. Tell me what you thought of Watchmen and Zack Snyder in particular. What'd you think?